We're cooking chicken out here. So we're going to do a concrete countertop. Just finishing up the last touches. We are basically done. A little bit hard to see. We rounded this bit, rounded up here. This week's video, we're working on the outdoor kitchen once again. Well, this week our new grill has arrived and we have it setting in place here. Actually, it arrived while we were filming the last video, part 3, so you may have seen it under a tarp right beside the sink cabinet that we were building. In this video, we're going to finish the sink cabinet. We're going to fire up the grill. It's new, so we got to run it and get the paint to cure on it. And since we're getting the grill hot, we might as well cook something on it too. So we are hoping to finish it up on this one. Hoping to get it done. This has been a long project. Of course, we started this sometime in August. I think it was toward the beginning of August, and now it's the beginning of November, and we're just starting to film part 4 here. So I imagine it'll probably be mid-November before this one's done. And the reason that it takes us so long is because we're actually only working on it in the evenings and here and there, kind of playing at it. We're not really putting a major amount of time into it. So this is the grill that we got. It's actually a 2-sided grill. Charcoal on the one side, propane on the other, and then there's an extra propane burner on the side of it. They also make a smoker attachment that goes on the side if we wanted it. We take these bolts out, and there's a plate right there that comes out. All right, well, we might as well fire this thing up and cure the paint on it. And we gotta get some charcoal on this side. We might as well cure up the paint on the whole thing. Easy open string, huh? I guess it depends on which side you start on. If you start on the wrong side, they don't work. If you start on the right side, they do work.
Not even then, you gotta get the right string.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't work. I got an easy open too, you know? That works better than the string does.
Wouldn't you want to put on 2 of your crates first?
I don't know.
Is the other end gonna go?
I guess I'm gonna close it while it runs because I want to cure the paint and everything so I can use it. Man, that stinks.
Yeah.
So I wanted one of these dual-sided grills, and this one was on sale actually, end of the season or something. Should have got some kind of YouTuber discount or something. If I would have talked about their brand and showed you all about the grill, but yeah, it's just a 2-sided grill. Lighting the grill for the first time and that paint baking on there, I mean, it stinks. But any grill I've ever had has done that, you know, if it's new. Any wood stove I've ever had has done that when it's new. We actually made 2 videos about our wood stoves that we have personally. If you haven't seen those, you might want to go back and check them out. There's a part 1 and a part 2 where we talk about the stoves and cleaning and different things like that. So if you have interest in that, you might want to check those 2 videos out. So I'm not sure how long we need to let this burn for the first time. I'm going to give it about an hour, and you know, if it's not stinking anymore, we'll start cooking on it. And if it is, we'll just let it keep going. Just want to give a quick reminder that we do put out new videos every Friday morning. If you appreciate these videos, please share them with your friends and hit like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that already. Wow, that's been at like 700 degrees, at least on the propane side. So it was smelling so bad, I went and found something else to do. Actually got a haircut. My wife gave me a haircut. She got a hold of me and my son, both boys actually. We made a funny video a while back on the Run Survival. If you haven't seen that, you might want to check that out. It was a lot of fun to make. It was about a haircut. She was tracking us down with a dog and tracking us through the woods. We were on the run. It was pretty funny. I mean, brutal. Well, it doesn't stink like burning paint anymore, so yeah, we might as well get something ready and stick it on the grill. I was wanting some steaks, but sounds like we're gonna have chicken. Oh, she got a hold of you too, huh? It's a nice haircut. We're cooking chicken out here. We put down some foil and put the chicken on that because it's non-stick grates under there, and I don't know, just being the first time and they just stopped smelling a little while ago, we were like, let's just put down a little foil. So that's what we're doing. So we need to make the countertop for our sink cabinet. So let's get started. So we're going to do a concrete countertop on our sink cabinet that we built here. And I've actually never done a concrete countertop before, so this will be a first for me. So when I have seen it done, I've always seen where people build a form and they pour their concrete in that form, and then they take that form off, and then they bring that countertop over to the cabinet and mount it on their cabinet. I'm going to do it a little different. So I see no reason why I can't build my form on my cabinet, cast in place, and then remove that form around the countertop and leave the countertop behind. I see no reason why that wouldn't work, so I'm going to try it. Let's see if this is going to be a success or an epic fail. And I did get my sink. It's stainless steel, single bowl kitchen sink. So we're going to start out by measuring that. I opened the package. There's no template with it. They just tell you trace the sink on whatever and measure in so far and cut that out. So we're going to have to do some measurements and figure this out, and we'll do all that on the cabinet. Well, this is our sink, and I just set it in here to get some idea of how it's going to fit. Wow. Actually, this board might be a problem in the back. What we might want to do is take this off and move it forward. Well, I think the solution is probably to take this board off and move it out. I have to determine how far I need to do that. Looks like I need to move this forward 1 3/4 inches, which I can't really do. It'll be on the outside of the post. So I'm going to have to come up with another solution. Got a remedy for this. Took the 2x4 out of the back, and I'm going to replace it with this piece of 5/4 decking, which is actually 1 inch thick. So I don't have to move this very much to get this in. So we still need to move this one forward, but now it's not as much because the backboard is now thinner. Glad I didn't glue this stuff. All right, we did the same thing, put a 5/4 in the front as well. So it's still inset a bit. It sticks out a little more than what it did, but now the sink actually fits. Anyway, now the front and back is in the right place. Now we just need to get some pieces for the side. All right, so the idea is I'm just going to kind of fill this in a way that I can remove these boards later. Good thing we have all these deck boards to use up. That's what we're using for our form work. Okay, so we got our first piece of form work on here, and this is made so we can take this off once the concrete has been cast. And we've got our bottom in across here and here. We just need to put sides all the way out around, finish up. And we're gonna really push it tonight because concrete is not supposed to be exposed to an ambient temperature less than 40 degrees in its first 24 hours of curing, and it's not supposed to freeze in its first 48 hours. So having that in mind and looking at the weather, tonight and tomorrow night and the next night, you know, we have 3 nights here that we're going to be above 40 in the night. But that 4th night onward, if the weather prediction is correct, they're claiming we're going to be below freezing for the next, like, whatever, however many days, 7 days or whatever. So we got to get this done tonight. Got our little notch there. Just to save time on not having to measure, I'm using the width of my level for my width of my boards to get my for my form work. All right, we got another form ready to go on. If we can get it in there. Next piece to go up against.
We'll take it out.
All right, we have run out of daylight, and we're just getting the form work finished up, and we're almost ready to pour. We got our forms out around, all the way around. A little wider on this side. We wanted it that way because the grill will be over here. We want a little wider area. We got our form in the middle, and in the back, we're just gonna pour right up against that stuff. Now to cover any gaps, we're putting painter's tape down because there's a little bit of a groove along here. So we'll be going along every place like that, and we'll tape that up before we pour it. Also, to attach the top down, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to pour in place. I don't know how they attach them normally. I just put some screws every so often all the way around in the post. In any board that's going to permanently stay, there's screws all the way around. Yeah, so I figured put those screws in there, and when we pour the top, they'll be in there, and that'll help it to stay attached to the cabinet. So they do make a special concrete mix for concrete countertops, but that stuff is like actually $30 a bag, where this other stuff is 5 something, almost $6 at our local home center. So guess which one I went with. All right, well, when you mix concrete, you don't want to get a super soupy mix. You want it to be kind of stiff. A stiff mix is supposedly better. It will reach its full strength easier. And I imagine in our situation, we don't want it real soupy anyways, because it's just more moisture to slip down between our cracks. I just kind of add water until it looks like what we want to see. Still looks a little dry. Go ahead and put some more on there. I think that's pretty good. So I've got these old trowels, and I'm not real sentimental, but these belong to my grandfather, and he was a builder, and he used them, of course. And then when I built our house, I used them here, and now I'm using them once again. So right now, we're just trying to get it down in all the corners, and we're going to put the first bag in, then we're going to lay in our rebar, and then we're going to put a second bag. We're going to mix that up and just put it over top until it's level with the top of our formwork. So for myself, I studied to be an architect, and then I've built a lot of things as well. So I really enjoy it. I enjoy this kind of work. I like to get my hands in it. It's a lot of fun. I like to not just design it, but to put it together. One thing I don't have is all the tools that you would use around the edge to make a nice edge, but this is supposed to look rough anyway, so I'm not really too worried about that. Just finishing up the last touches. We are basically done. A little bit hard to see, but that's it. All right, well, this is not the end of the video, but this is the end of our day. We're done with what we're doing, and obviously we ran out of light some time ago. So yeah, I want to get some dinner and go in for the evening. All right, well, it's been a couple days, and now we got to get the forms off. The last 2 nights it's been around 40 degrees, and during the day it's been, you know, a lot more than that. But all day today it's been raining, and so our forms are still on, and of course the wood's probably a little bit swelled up, and it's supposed to freeze tonight, and it's supposed to be below freezing most nights and even throughout the day the next few days. I don't like to leave forms on concrete more than the first 24 hours. It's already been 48, so I want to get them off, especially before it freezes. So the reason we didn't get those forms off in the first 24 hours is because somebody had a violin recital that we needed to go to, and we went and had a great time. Well, I guess I better put the camera down and help him get these forms off. Of course, who's going to hold the umbrella then? All right, there it is. Looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Not too bad for the first time pouring concrete countertop. Looks pretty good in my opinion, so yeah, now it's time to get out of the rain. Stirring up some hot chocolate for the children. By the way, you can get these mugs in our Teespring store. Follow the link in the description below. All right, it's another day. Winter has definitely shown up now. It's pretty cold, so I'm not sure how much we're gonna do on this. We're gonna put the sink in, and I'm not sure that we're gonna hook up the plumbing because we're not gonna need it until springtime. It's winter time. We're not gonna really use the sink over the winter, so no sense in really fooling with that right now when it's this cold. So we're in the 30s. It was under 30 this morning whenever we got up, and now we're in the 30s, and yeah, it's pretty cold, so yeah, too cold to fool with water. So what I think we're going to do is I'm actually going to get out an 80 grit sandpaper on a sander. I'm going to try to sand this edge. I like a sharp edge on the bottom, but up here on the top edge, I'd like to round that a little bit if I can. Not sure how well that's going to work, is sanding concrete, but we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. It's still pretty fresh. It's only been a few days, really. Let's see, this is like the 4th day since it's been poured. It's kind of rough, but it looks good. I like it. It's fairly flat. It's pretty nice, actually. Some places are nicer than others, but yeah, it's really nice. It turned out good. I like it. The formwork that we made, we're going to leave it put together. We might actually reuse some of that. We're going to make a second countertop. Not sure if that'll be in this video, but yeah, let's get started. All right, we'll just see how that works. Yeah, it's working pretty good, actually. Tell you one thing, you go through sandpaper pretty fast doing that. Why don't you get one? It actually worked a lot better than I thought it was going to. Right at first, I thought it was kind of a dumb idea that probably won't work out, but it did work out. Basically, we were just knocking off the sharp edge, and it's green concrete, so it's pretty hard stuff, but at the same time, it's soft enough that, you know, you can work a little bit with it. Yeah, there you can see we rounded this bit, rounded up here. I mean, it's not extreme, but it's definitely not as sharp as it was. It's pretty good. One thing you wouldn't want to do is sand the surface off so much that you end up exposing the stone and getting water down in there, freezing and thawing and whatever, and start busting up your top. I mean, we do have a couple places like that where there's one exposed, but it's not real bad. Okay, from here, typical sink installation. You got these little tracks under here, and they make these clips that, you know, go in the track and basically hold it onto the countertop. Another thing, we're not going to hook up the water today because we have to run lines out yet, and there's no sense in doing that now. It's getting into winter time, so we're not going to really use the water till spring. We do want to put our drain in, though. The drain basket, we can put all that in, and it'll be easier now before we install the sink. So I don't do a lot of plumbing. I'm not a plumber. I'm used to, you put plumber's putty underneath these and screw them down. I'm told that we don't have to do that anymore. They give this little gasket. Apparently it just goes in between. At least that's what they told me, so. Hate to be touching on a metal sink when it's this cold. All right, I guess we need longer screws. So according to the directions on this thing, you should put these in the channel on the bottom of the sink. And I've done this before, but I didn't think the screws were that short. We would have less than an inch on the countertop thickness if we're going with that. I did buy the cheapest sink that they had. Because it's going outside. Yeah, I had to stop at the hardware store, see about getting some different screws. All right, so from here, all that's left to do, we need to build another countertop for the other side here. And it's going to be like a countertop with a bar on the back. And then we need to hook up the plumbing. That stuff, I think we're just gonna let wait till spring. We're gonna use the grill even though it's winter, you know. So I guess for now, this will be the end of this series, and maybe we'll make another one in the spring when we do that other stuff. We also need to bring in some more gravel. We need to put up a railing and build a smoker. So yeah, we got some more to do in the springtime. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We put out new videos every week, every Friday morning. And if you'd like to receive notifications when we do upload the next video, hit that notification bell. And check out our channel. We have several videos just like this one or very similar. We do various things including hiking, biking, boating, fishing, builds of various kinds, mostly outdoor activities. Some homesteading is thrown in there as well. This channel is for the experience. We do these things for the experience of doing them and to show others how you can do it too. We try to be fun and entertaining while being educational all at the same time. Sometimes these experiences are done for the first time, and other times they're things that we do all the time. Sometimes we do things just for the fun of doing it. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.